All right, hello and welcome, traders. It's Tuesday, February 25th, 2025. Exciting day in the markets today. Really, not a whole happened. I mean, we dropped a 0.5%. We were down early more. We rallied back a little bit and finished well off of our lows of the day. Really nice hammer reversal candle on the daily today. We'll see if that turns into the markets making another leg higher in the next few days. Why? What happened? Well, we slipped out early this morning based upon the most recent consumer confidence survey. It came in weaker than expected. And apparently, people didn't like the fact that the survey was weak, that people didn't have confidence. So they sold everything, okay, or they sold a bunch of stocks. But there was really no hard data or anything like that to make it. It's just a survey came out that was one of the worst readings on that survey in a long time, but still no real data on the markets came out to knock things down. I mean, we're still a little weak on the whole Walmart thing, but tomorrow we have Nvidia after the bell. We'll see. Can Nvidia save the markets? Overall, 4 down days in a row. Yeah, who knows? But nice things for us is that the 10-year yield dropped below 4.3% to the lowest amount since December. And of course, that means bond prices are moving up. And for us, that's usually a pretty good thing, seeing that we hold a lot of TLT and we hold a lot of TMF shares. So that was good stuff. Also, we had Bitcoin today. We'll get into some of these charts. Bitcoin, which is kind of just moving along with stocks, it fell below 90,000 today. So that's a kind of a big milestone for Bitcoin. So we got some cracks in Bitcoin. Are things moving lower? Who knows? But that's about 20% off of its highs. That seems to be the theme. There's a lot of things well off of their highs. Does that mean it's a good deal to get in? I think on some things, we got some good deals out there, and I want to share some of those with you. So I'm going to go through some charts, show you what I'm seeing, give you some trade ideas I think that you can look at. There's not a ton of trade ideas out there. We stood pat pretty well in the market. To me, these are perfect days to just sit there, let the markets do their thing. Don't try to catch the falling knife. Don't try to catch the reversal trade before the reversal happens. Okay, doing nothing is an actual strategy, folks. You don't have to trade every single day. But what we did do today is, and we've done it for the last couple of days, is we're just selling, we're just doing some zero DTE trades. We've been very, very good at those. We have nearly a 100% win rate on those. I think 100% for the year on zero DTE and about 94%, including all of last year. So zero DTE, why not make 200-300 bucks a day? I don't do a huge amount of that. There's no sense risking all of that, but I feel like we're pretty good at it. So while the market's just doing its thing, no sense putting on big trades or anything like that. I keep it small, some zero DTE while we're waiting for opportunities. And we didn't see a lot. So we ran through a lot of these charts today, and I'm going to do that with you in a few, but I will give you some trade ideas. We also saw some of the bank stocks rolling over, and financials have been holding up the market a bit. So that wasn't helpful for the market, but we'll take a look at some of these stocks, including Palantir continuing to just drop. It's down 13% this week. I told you not to get into it yet. Okay, maybe soon. We'll take a look at that. Is it time for Palantir? I don't think so yet, but maybe we're getting closer. Uh, Tesla just getting the living daylights beat out of it. It fell what today? Another maybe 10% or 8%, something like that. I'll take a quick look. We'll look at the chart. Tesla down almost down 8% again today. Not great. The more time Elon spends away from Tesla, I think the weaker Tesla starts to get until we start to see Elon doing both of his Doge duties as well as put some effort into Tesla. Just get out there, say something, show up at something Tesla related, show the stockholders that you actually care about your stock, which I don't think he really does for the most part. Okay. And when that happens, I think Tesla turns around. Tesla's not falling on anything except, okay, it's a neglected child right now, and It's not the favored child of Elon. He's spending all the time with Doge, trying to clean up the government, which is all great and well and good. Okay. Don't give me political comments that you do or don't like him or whatever he's doing. Okay. I'm all good if we're cost cutting and reducing the size of government. Okay. The way they're doing it, I'm not commenting on. Okay. But that's all well and good to be looking at how do we improve efficiency. I think every company should be looking at efficiency, including the federal government. However, Tesla's your baby. Pay some attention to your own kid because your own kid has wandered off of the crib and is now crawling on the ledge. So maybe spend a little time with your own kids. All right, there we go. And then uh, you still got some of these trade concern things. You're just a tweet or a note away from something going haywire. You know what? Get you ready for it because this is going to be the way it is this year and probably for 3 more years to come. Okay, we're going to have volatility in the market. We're going to be threatening tariffs. We're going to be pulling back on tariffs. We're going to be threatening something else. We're going to pull back on something else. It's the art of the deal, folks. Just get used to it. Make sure you're not trading these swings and trading with emotion. Stay calm, trade your plan. Let's get into some cool things and take a look at where we are heading into NVIDIA earnings tomorrow night. So, you know what? Before we do that, let's just look at the accounts really quickly. I'll show you where we are on the accounts, and then from there, you can make your decisions on which way you want to go, but I'm going to share some trade ideas with you. So let's get into it. Here's the main trading account. Today ended up at 979 on Delta, totally within our range. Pretty Delta neutral, 1580 on Theta, 0.42%. One of the best Theta readings that we've had. So we've got a lot of juice, a lot of Theta that's working through the account right now. Ended up at 380, 662, 291 on buying power, which puts us at 73. So it's a little elevated right now. We've seen some increases in buying power as the markets have sold off a bit here. Again, 4 straight days dropping from about 6,100 down to about 5,900. So a couple 100-point drops will increase your buying power, but I'm still fine at 73. Nothing to worry about there. We have plenty of cash sitting in this company. We have a boatload of cash. It's just values and what's knocked our net lick down again a little bit. And we're up, realized gains, still 9% for the year. We are not closing anything for losses. Nothing I have is close to being closed for a loss. So we don't have any losses on the near-term horizon right now. When that change tomorrow, maybe we'll see what happens in the next couple of days. But I like the fact that we finished off of the lows pretty solidly today. Our biggest net lick hits are number one, we are down in a Tesla poor man's covered call trade, income poor man's covered call. Our SPY leaps are down a bit, you would think. Our Bitcoin, IBIT, income poor man's covered call, that's down a little bit as well. And then bonds are down because we have some strangles on. So our strangles, not loving this quick move to the upside, but it's all good. They're not in any danger of anything. And then ES is in great shape. And oil's down just a fraction today as we continue to drop lower. Now, seems to be, and I hate rumors, and I don't want to, to me, news is pretty much noise. You got to look at the facts and then make your own decisions. But looks like the U.S. and Ukraine may have made some deals on minerals, which could be dropping the price of oil if we're going to get some oil from Ukraine. And again, the deal is happening for your eyes. Ukraine's going to give us, minerals and things that we need. That's a great deal. Hopefully, we get some peace out there as well too, and everybody will stop, consternating about what's going on in Ukraine if we can get that settled. However, that dropped the price of oil today a bit, and I think oil in a pretty good tailspin lower. So overall, it counts pretty good. We made $1,600 today. So how do we do that on the session? Pretty easy. So we did a 0 DTE trade, booked $300 there. We rolled out our IBIT and our Tesla covered calls. We rolled them down, same expiration, okay, but by doing that, We booked $1,300 today, and we didn't roll them all the way to at the money, which is what we really probably could or should do. But we did roll them down a bit and booked the income in 2 days on those. So we booked already some nice income on those. And in the lazy trader account, again, we don't close a whole lot of anything in this. Okay, this is a buy and hold. This is an investing account here, primarily using leaps and naked puts. Okay. We do buy some long options, not many, and we have some standard covered calls in here and a few other unique trades, but that's it pretty much. I'm selling leaps on high quality assets and indexes. Okay. And with the market dropping, our net lick has dropped, but we haven't closed anything. Nothing's near a loss. There's nothing to do in that account. I'm taking a quick look at the account right now. The worst position is still TMF, and that had a fantastic $1,500 day today. It's down, but it's only down like 2% of the total account. Our Tesla leaps are down, not even 1%, all of them together, not even 1% of our account, but our Tesla leaps are down. And we do have some SoFi, a poor man's covered call, which is down, but not down that bad. And then the Bitcoin IBIT. And then our Amazon trade. Amazon was actually up on the day. And we have leaps in Amazon. They're down, but they're fine. And then AMD's down, but fine on our poor man's covered call. So just some things down, but nothing to close out at all right now. So we're in good shape. We have lots of buying power in this account. Here's the trade plan. Okay. We will use 50% of our buying power, available buying power. What is the available buying power? It's 70% of the account. So I will run this account ideally at 70% BP usage. What am I at today? Or 50%. So I have a lot of buying power to deploy. 20% of the account. It's almost a $400,000 account. So I have almost $80,000 to deploy. I'm not ready yet on it, but I think we're getting close. We're going to talk about some of those trade opportunities that are in there. But if you're looking at the strategy builder here, mostly leaps and some stocks, which we don't have any stocks right now. So it's leaps. We're probably a little underfunded on leaps. Then standard naked puts, which can be shorter term. They don't have to be leaps necessarily. I like selling naked puts on undervalued assets but they're quality assets that only fit those particular top stocks that I track, which is only about 12 stocks. That's it. There's nothing outside of those 12 that I will even invest in. I'm only in like 4 of them, maybe 5. Okay. There is one exception right now. Let me strike that. I'm in AMD and TSM. So there are actually 2 exceptions in there. AMD, I believe, is a quality name. It doesn't make my top quality stocks, but I believe is undervalued and where it is, I think AMD is good. And I like Taiwan Semiconductor. I think that's a good name. I would probably we'll consider closing AMD if we get any kind of a bounce or rally. If not, it's poor man's covered call. We just keep trading that. It's actually doing okay. All right, poor man's covered call trades. I just touched base on those. We have a handful of those in the Bitcoin ETF, IBIT. I've got SoFi and I've got AMD. I think those are the 3 that are poor man's covered calls. Double checking for you here. And that's it. Okay. And so I think I don't have enough of those on necessarily. And then spec trades, we don't have a ton of spec trades on either right now. We have, if I'm looking at it, mostly just leaps. We have a 112 trade on the Qs. Right now it's up 102% in 54 days. So 102% on those. And then SPY, I'm sitting on a Jade Lizard up 65%. And we still have a few older SPYs out there, but nothing new. And really it's the TMF trade that I'm in. I've assigned shares. I have not been writing covered calls because I'm expecting the bounce, but we're getting close to maybe writing those covered calls back on there. And then that's it. Everything else is pretty much along the lines of those leaps trades. So this account, we only shoot for about 1.5% to 2% a month. I do have a strategy plan that will put me up above that but I think it's a little, it's not aggressive, and uh, we're not fully baked in. But we're doing pretty good hitting some of these numbers. But we've already generated $7,200, I believe, this month. I don't know if something's missing from here, but um, we're doing just fine. Looks like I may have an error in one of my spreadsheets, but we're doing just fine. Nothing to do there. That lazy trader account in net lick is up almost 5% on the year, with the S&P up 1.6%. Okay. And then we're doing a little over 3% here on the net lick, but we've closed 9% of our trades. We're just down because, again, some of the trades, um, the net lick is down, but we haven't closed anything for a loss. So pretty good. I'm pretty happy with where we are overall. Certainly nothing to panic or look at. So let's take a look here at some of the charts of the day and come up with some ideas. So we went a little in depth, and I'm going to try to go quicker than I did earlier today with our members. But we're seeing a little bit of a rollover here on the weekly, but still the uptrend is in place. We're still above the 21-day moving average, but we have the internals starting to roll over. So we'll keep a cautious eye out, but I'm still bullish but cautious, and we're in this purple trading range right now. We're right in the dead center of it. And if you look at the daily, we broke the Bollinger Band and then snapped back pretty good today. We're not oversold, so we could have a little bit more downside to go. That's all good. If we get some more downside, it's really going to start to pay off for some of our trades. So that we'll be keeping an eye on. But right now, I'm still bullish but cautious, which is what I've been for months now. And we're just making money with this sideways chopping action. And if we do get some slow, nice pullbacks here, okay, I'm good with it. If we're pulling back 2-3% a month for the next 3 or 4 months, that will be awesome for our portfolio. We'll really start to benefit from that. All right, let's take a look at oil. So oil, the 21-day on the weekly, which the weekly chart is on the right, the daily is on the left, the daily is on the right. So looking at both charts, the 21 EMA, the green, is below the purple or fuchsia or whatever line you want to call that on both. It just flipped under on the daily 3 days ago. Right. So this is a pretty bearish looking chart. Things look fairly ugly. Okay. We've been selling. Okay. We're getting into oversold territory, but we're not there yet. I think we just continue to hang in there, but I don't see a trade right now. That makes no sense to try to call the bottom, because I don't think the bottom's in. We're getting extended. We're not quite there. We could bounce. I don't see catalysts for bouncing necessarily, so we'll see. But things look bearish. I don't want to put on a call credit spread here, though, and see a reversal at these levels. I'd like to see something more along at the top of the line. So let's just hang on. There's just nothing to do. Don't chase trades. Okay. If we're going to look here at the uh, weekly on gold, this thing's been in a great uptrend, rocking uptrend, hitting the top of the Bollinger Band. But we've been at the top of the Bollinger Band now for weeks, and we just keep riding it higher. But if you look at the daily today, it's a pretty good technical drop today. We did finish off the lows. We did, but we still haven't broken. We're not even close to the 21 EMA here. So we could pull all the way back to the 21 EMA somewhere around this 2,700-ish level, 2,760. We could come all the way down here and still be above the 21, which is above the 50, still be bullish. So a pullback here isn't the worst thing. It would give us an opportunity. Do we want to enter any trades here? Well, we do have a unique trade on. It is a hedged strangle on gold. Right now, that trades up $230 in 14 days. The maximum I can make on that trade is about $1,000. So we're about a third of the way there, or a quarter of the way there. I'm pretty happy with that trade. There's nothing to do here on gold. A hedged strangle, courtesy of one of our members. I thought it was a really good trade opportunity, so I did put that on. But you can see that we've been overbought. We might be dipping back down. Sure, a pullback wouldn't be bad. Today, PSAR bearish signal came down. We didn't touch the 21. We came down close to it. Bounced a little bit off of that today. Tomorrow will be very important to see what happens. But I still think we could come down here a little bit more into that 2,800-ish level. Um, 2900, mid 2800s, something in there, I think would not be the worst thing to get long gold. I'm still very, very bullish on gold for the year, especially if they don't find any in Fort Knox. Anyway, if you don't know that story, you can look it up on your own. Anyway, here's bonds now. So we've struck out. There's really not trades on ES that I want to put on. There's not trades on oil that I want to put on. There's really not a trade on gold I want to put on yet. So there's nothing to trade in those accounts right now. So let's look at bonds. Is there a trade in bonds? We're now four tickers in on the futures, and I think there is. Now we've had a nice move to the upside. The weekly's seen a very big V-shaped recovery. We're now banging into the top of the anchored VWAP that dates back to this previous September 16th high. So we're banging on that anchored VWAP here. Let's take this one off. All right, we've got some support below on this one. Okay, so nothing to do quite yet, but it looks very bullish, but you're above the Bollinger Band on the daily. Okay, you're heading into the 50-day moving average here uh, on the weekly, and you should have triggered a, it's not showing necessarily, but we should have triggered a bearish, or I'm sorry, a bullish PSAR. Oh, there it is. Okay, there's the dot down there. So bullish PSAR signal triggered today. So things are very bullish. What can we do? Well, 112s and Jade Lizards, they don't really set up well. Strangle type stuff, or I shouldn't say strangle. Anything with that put credit spread being financed by a naked put, naked call, what have you, whether it be a Jade Lizard, inverse Jade Lizard, 112 trade, they don't really set up well on oil. Very hard to do that because of the tick sizes and the point sizes in oil. However, I think you can still put on a strangle in this thing. So I think they set up perfectly for a strangle right at the 21. We're right in between the 3 ATR and the Bollinger Bands. RSI is right in the middle at 52. I mean, I don't think this is a bad strangle trade. The concern for me is that the Bollinger Bands are definitely pinching in on the weekly, maybe setting up for some more of a move. You can see they're starting to open up. They were tight and starting to open up in the daily, which means we could see some more move, but that would be an overextended move. So I think a strangle, not the worst trade here. So my one trade idea here is a strangle. Let's look at copper. Crazy candle today. Don't really know what that was all about. But if we look at the overall weekly, the weekly, when I'm doing strangles, that's all I care about. I don't care about the daily chart. All I care about is the weekly because these are 90-day strangles. Moving down closer to the 21 EMA, RSI is dropping. I think this is not a bad potential strangle opportunity. I don't like that candle today. Don't really know what that is, but maybe it was a mistake. Maybe it was something else. I don't know if there's any news. I don't see anything. I don't know why it would spike like that, but maybe there's something we're missing. And then if we also look at silver, which broke the downtrend on silver, very close to its 21 EMA on the weekly. Bollinger Bands are still fairly wide. RSI down to around 54 or so. It looks pretty much in this nice range that we've been in for several weeks on the daily chart here. I don't think silver's that bad. So I think silver would also be a potential strangle opportunity. So there's a couple trades for you there. And I think also take a look at RTY. I know there's a lot of stuff on here. You can see a 112 trade. If this is the trap down here. So we're in the trap. If we stay anywhere in this range, we're going to make 4,700 bucks. If we run here, anywhere here and higher, we make 945. So this trade's playing out exactly the way we were hoping it would play out. And let's just see if we find some support right around this area in here. We broke out of this range. This range is essentially 2,300 to 22, 20, what is it, 23, 27, 22, 27. It's like 100 wide. So 100 points down from here would put us somewhere around 2130, which would be the bottom of this white 3 ATR. Uh, that would be a great spot to look for a potential bounce. Maybe today was an extended candle. We're getting oversold on stochastic momentum and RSI. So I think we're ready, but we're not there yet. So again, no trade there. Let's take a look at a couple quick stocks. Okay. I'm digging this candle on Amazon. Not only did Amazon come all the way down here, well past its Bollinger Band and 3 ATR level, okay, ran all the way down into here and reversed. Not only did it reverse, but it reversed to end the day higher and up. So we ended the day up 9 cents. It's still 9 cents. Huge reversal candle today here. Overbought RSI, I'm sorry, oversold RSI, oversold stochastic momentum, starting to maybe tip up. MACD very extended to the downside. Now, the weekly chart doesn't look great. There could be more downside to go, but you still have the stacked EMAs here. So the EMAs are still stacked. We could pull to the 50 or to the support level here and still bounce. I love this candle that I'm seeing here on Amazon. I'm not going to tell you you should have bought today, but I'm in Amazon with long calls. Those were up today. I like this move. I'm not big on buying calls, but right here, I really am digging Amazon. We added more in the Lazy Trader account, which is why we're down a bit overall because it's been dropping now for 4 weeks. However, this could be, I think, an opportunity on Amazon. I think the intrinsic value on Amazon is, in fact, let me give you what I've got intrinsic value pegged at. Um, Amazon, I'm looking somewhere in that 200 to 220-ish range. Well, we're at 212. We're right in the middle of the range that I think the actual value of Amazon is here. So, not only do I think Amazon's fair valued right here, but I think if you wanted to put on some more leaps, I have about $10,000 worth of leaps on this account, which is about 2.5% of my account. I would like to take this up more. So I think tomorrow, depending on what Amazon does, I'm probably going to add a little bit. I'm going to keep loading in leaps and on this move down in Amazon. I think this is a great opportunity to sell leaps below here, like the 180 level, somewhere around there, which I think is definitely a great value. It's almost 20% below what I feel the intrinsic value of Amazon is. So I'm loving Amazon here. I can't say enough about it. I like Amazon and I will not lie. All right, I'm going to skip around just to wrap this up for you guys. Nice pullback in Nvidia heading into earnings. I think that's awesome for earnings. I would rather be coming into earnings with the stock falling than the stock rallying to new highs and then, with mixed earnings or something getting tanked. The fact that we've sold off from about 20 points now in 2 weeks here, and this is in a bit of a bearish trend on the daily and the weekly as well, kind of a sideways trend on this thing. I think just keep an eye on Nvidia. There's just no sense doing anything right now, but I really think this is a great opportunity in Nvidia for the long term on this pullback. We'll get earnings tomorrow night. That's going to move the market one way or the other. And then Tesla, I already talked about it. It's now at the bottom of this channel again. So you can see, bottom of the channel, top of the channel, top of the channel, bottom of the channel, midway through a little higher, and then back down to the bottom of the channel here on Tesla. You can see we did finish a little bit off of the lows, which is that 3 ATR band on the session. I don't think we've seen the reversal yet on Tesla, so I'm not going to go all in, but I definitely have been selling some leaps on the move lower. So yes, the value of those leaps is down, but I'm selling like the 190, 200s. I believe the value of Tesla is huge range. Uh, I would say safely 200s, kind of in the middle of that range, as the value of Tesla. It could be up to 300-ish. I think 200 is a good range for that. So anything around 200, 190 is what I'm selling leaps on, and we'll take the premium and we'll go out a year. And if we're above 200 a year from now, we're going to collect, more than 30% on these leaps. We're going to collect a ton on these leaps. So looking forward to that. So what am I saying on Tesla? I'm not saying to buy now, but I think we're getting close. We're at the bottom of this channel. If it breaks the bottom of the channel, well, then we'll see what happens. I think there's some support. If we're looking at the weekly charts in here, we can draw a line around here, which would put us at this pivot point, which was another resistance that we failed at, and then finally we broke through it. So that puts us again right around 270-ish. Okay, so we can see it up, which is right around where the 200-day moving average is. I think anywhere in this area is where Tesla probably could make a stand for the most part. That's when I'll really probably start adding even more Tesla. So I do like those. All right, let's skip all the way to Palantir. I told you not to buy it. Okay, I told you not to buy the dip here, the bounce, nothing. It continues to sell off. Okay. I'm sure there'll be a bounce at some point, but if you look at this thing still, and on Palantir, I think the value of this thing is actually 40. Now, that's the intrinsic value. Does it mean it will ever sell for that? And rarely do some of these growth stocks sell for their intrinsic value of 30 or 40. It'll probably sell at a premium to that. But uh, look at this chart. I mean, MACD rolling over, RSI way overbought and finally moving down. Stochastic momentum. So all the momentum is down on this thing. We did not complete the gap fill today. Maybe we'll bounce tomorrow. Maybe we'll sell off in the next couple of days. But the gap fill is still a little bit lower at 83.90. We didn't hit it yet in that purple box. And then look at the momentum here. There's nothing good for Palantir, but I think we're getting closer to a possible area to get in. I think if we break this or hit the close to this gap fill, somewhere between this 80, 84, I think that the intrinsic value of this thing uh, is somewhere around 30 or 40, but you're going to pay a premium for it. And I think if you can sell puts around that 40 level, now that we're at 87, not so bad idea. So if you go out 1 year from now, and I take a look at let's just take a look at the 45s. The 45s, right from a year from now, are paying $3.30. In a PM account, I'm taking in 330 and using 644 in margin in a portfolio margin account. That's a 50% return in 1 year on Palantir, and that's owning it at 45. Okay. Half of you think this thing should be 1,000 or some stupid number by then. Okay. I still don't think it's done going down yet. It's getting closer, but I think this is not a bad spot to start to nibble a little bit on some naked puts. I certainly wouldn't be buying it here yet. Okay. Anyway, there's a handful of trade ideas for you. I hope you enjoyed those. If you do, please click the like button down below. We could use a like. I'd love to get to 300 likes on this video. So if you could, help me out. Give me a like. If you got one piece of info out of this thing, click the like button and help me out. Let's get the word out to people. If you're not a subscriber in here, what are you waiting for? Join the YouTube group here. I'll be putting content out as often as I possibly can. You hopefully get at least one takeaway every day or two from here. And if you want to see what we're doing and you want to trade with me and trade with a bunch of other really smart traders, come join the Discord group. Great deal down below. You can use the code KING, get 40% off the first month. Come in, get a boatload of education. I mean, it will be drinking out of a fire hose. Get a boatload of information, use it. Use us for a month. And if you find that you like it, okay, so come in for the steak, stay for a lifetime. Hey, you can check in, but you can't check out, type of thing. You're going to love it once you're in there. Great people, great education. Love to see you guys in the Discord. We'll see you later. Everybody take care. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.